Thank you, Philadelphia. Thank you, Philadelphia. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for letting me represent this city and allowing me into your homes every Sunday. Consider it a great blessing to play in the most passionate sports town in America. The sense of urgency in this city to win has pushed our organization, has fueled it to take chances, fix problems, and work tirelessly in an effort to win. At times, you hate it as an athlete, especially those new to our city. But when you've been through it enough, you learn to appreciate it. It has truly been a privilege. You have all been so good to me and my family. Growing up in Cleveland, I watched all of my favorite athletes leave the city. Hell, a whole team left the city. It has always been a goal of mine to play my whole career in one city. And I couldn't have dreamt a better one and a better fit if I tried.
Count 10 for me real quick.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You didn't say how, you just say get to 10.
No, I'm with you.
I'm messing with you.
Hey, what's up, Eagles fans? This is Fletcher Cox.
Number 91, Fletcher Cox!
We just want to remind everybody, I've seen everybody. 12 years of doing this, man.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Fletcher Cox.
Where I'm from is from Mississippi, Yazoo City. Me coming to Philadelphia to a bigger city, it'll be kind of different for me.
It's been a long 12 years. I knew one day this day would come for me. I just want y'all to know that. This is it for me.
We going 100 today, baby. We going 100.
Being in this organization for 10 plus years is, it's a blessing.
It's Fletcher Cox getting there for Philadelphia.
You don't want to go head-to-head with Fletcher Cox.
Hey, Mr. Lurie, I appreciate you. You changed my life. You changed my life.
One more, baby.
One more.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
Top down. Say what? Say who? Lane, I appreciate you. Kelce, I appreciate you. Nick, I appreciate you. Don, I appreciate you, man.
Philadelphia Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl.
Dump his ass. I just appreciate everybody.
America's Got Talent. Come on, man.
Just focusing on me, being a leader and just going out and just playing the game of football and love doing it. I'll tell you my secret. Play don't care who makes it. Way to be smart, right? So space on you, this hand don't mean nothing to me. Somebody gonna make the play tomorrow. Let's not just beat them. Let's kick their ass, man. It's about us. It's about us. It's about the will we want to, man. That's all it takes. Bring it in tight.
Let me talk my shit again.
What it do? Y'all see who it is. It's your boy, Cassius Cliff, back at it again with the Talk My Shit Podcast. I ain't gonna lie. Obviously, I've been away for a while, for a good while. It's been since that last playoff game. Y'all ain't seen or heard from me. And a lot has happened. Not only with me personally, but clearly with our team. A lot of things have happened. Hassan really got traded away. Obviously, we signed some guys, some great players, which is huge. But some of our greatest and most loved Eagles have retired and hung up the cleats this offseason, and it kind of stings, man. I mean, the same way Gilly is looking right here in this photo at the end of that Tampa Bay game is the same way it brought me back to that moment when these guys hung it up, and I finally had to accept the fact that we will not have him on the roster next season. And I am talking about Jason Kelce and Fletcher Cox. I mean, again, some of the most beloved and, in my eyes, two Eagles legends You're talking about a former first-round pick and a former sixth-round pick, both having phenomenal careers, several All-Pros. I believe Fletcher was a All-Pro a couple times as well, if not once. But obviously, you already know Jason Kelce's work, but multiple Pro Bowlers, Super Bowl champions. Like, these guys did a lot for the team, for the community. Great leaders on either side of the trenches, which clearly is very important when it comes to building a team. And these guys were at the forefront of that when it came to leading those men on either side of the ball on those lines. And I can't be more grateful for Jason Kelce as well as Fletcher Cox, especially given when I witnessed those guys getting drafted, I had zero inclination that they would be as good as they were for as long as they were. Playing through injuries or dealing with them, these guys showed up virtually every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and gave us, top performances. And that's why not only am I taking out the time to thank them and honor them, this whole episode is going to be solely dedicated to them, purely because obviously there's been a lot of things going on, but I have to get this out the way, given that these are some of the best Eagles that have ever suited it up, and we won't have them next year. So you got to give them their proper due and their proper respect, as well as their flowers, because these are just some of the greatest that we've ever seen, and it's only right to do it that way. So I'm just going to go into a couple clips just to kind of show how important really the impact they had on this team throughout the years, and even up until, the final game of the season or final. You already know him. Y'all know the name. Fletcher Cox right here sacking Carson Wentz in a game where we couldn't stay off of Carson Wentz. For some reason, he was always on his back, and there was an eagle on top of him. And Fletcher Cox showed up to the party as well. And it's just nothing new. He's done it over the course of his career. Talking about a guy who's been, I think, had 9.5 sacks and 10.5 sacks, 2 separate seasons, obviously. 70 for the course of his career. 3 touchdowns over the course of his career. Fletcher Cox he's done it all, man. When it comes to playing D-tackle, being able to move outside if needed. Obviously, we really didn't see him move out there. But I know, had we been put in that spot, I'm sure Fletcher Cox would have been able to, play DN if need be and still be productive. Putting up 3 touchdowns over the course of your career, it doesn't, in my eyes, appear to be that easy. But he did it. And even in the last game of his career against Tampa Bay, still recording a sack, and especially given the latter part of his career where he had up and down years in terms of production, his most vital attribute and best attribute had to be his leadership, especially given that we had a lot of young guys around him. Aside from BG, I don't see a better leader on that D-line than Fletcher Cox, and he'll surely be missed because, yes, we have 2 young Georgia Bulldogs in the trenches in the middle of that defensive line now, but that leadership is key. And obviously, it's great to have BG still there, but that's a pretty big loss with Fletch being gone. And, it keeps on going because when you mention one going, the other actually went as well. And when you're talking about leadership on the other side of the ball, I can't think of a better leader in terms of the entire league other than Jason Kelce. Talking about a guy who was a 6th-round pick, undersized, but has some of the best and highest IQ, some of the best athleticism, fast as hell as a center, constantly pulling, decleating linebackers, well, sometimes linebackers, but really corners, safeties, moving linebackers out the way. Jason Kelce, the guy is just a legend in Philly, and really, who can deny him being one of the best, even in his last year as a pro, was a first-team All-Pro. You're talking about one of the best to ever do it, and Jason Kelce is it. He's definitely that. In this last, and in my eyes and in my mind, the best game of this past season in Philly against Buffalo, in the shootout that we had against those guys, a very tough game. Obviously, you guys remember how it ended. Jalen Hurts running it and pretty much going untouched into the end zone. But if you look closely, you see number 62 clears that defender out, which gives Jalen Hurts that clear lane. And that is it. That's ball game right there. And that's really Jason Kelce. And that's what he's done over the course of his career. That game was no different. And this is where we are now, guys. We no longer have Jason Kelce. We no longer have Fletcher Cox. And those are pretty big shoes to fill. I mean, if you look at their production, their consistency, Jason Kelce didn't miss a start. He didn't miss a game. Fletch missed a couple games, but these are two multiple Pro Bowlers, All-Pro, Super Bowl champion, legends, and now retirees and no longer in the league or on the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's things, because these are guys that you watch grow up. These are guys that you watch mature. You are guys that you watch get better and finally get to that pinnacle and hold it, and was able to hold the Super Bowl trophy. Jason Kelce would probably the best Super Bowl speech ever. Like, man, these guys gave us a lot of great moments and times. And as sad as it is to see them go, these are the facts of life, and you kind of have to accept it and move on. Because luckily for us, we have a GM in Howie Roseman who, in my eyes, and I think a lot of people's eyes, is the best GM in the entire league. He's going to be proactive, and he has already, been that way with Cam Jurgens being, moving to center, with Jordan Davis, with Jalen Carter. And more than likely, we'll be avoiding picks like this in the future. As you can see, that is Jose Joaquin Arcega-Whiteside, a former second-round pick at receiver, who for the course of his career, for 40 games, has 1 touchdown and not even 300 yards. I mean, what a bum. Absolute bum. And a guy like Fletcher Cox had more touchdowns than him over the course of his career. Sure, he played more games and more seasons, but he played an entirely different position on the other side of the ball. That's neither here nor there. Obviously, we've had a lot of things happen, and I'm sure a lot of things will continue to happen because this is the Philadelphia Eagles, and Howie Roseman likes to keep things spicy and interesting. It makes this kind of gig and this podcast super fun for me because I'm never going to be starving for content or news. Howie's going to give it to us. No Diddy. So we're going to definitely tap in. We're going to definitely talk about those other moves that's been made over the course of the season. But for now, we want to thank and honor Jason Kelce as well as Fletcher Cox and wish them happy retirement because they deserve it. They were Eagles legends, and congrats on the job well done on great careers for the both of them. With that being said, it is great to be back. It feels great to be back. This is the Talk My Shit Again podcast. I am your humbly and hostile host, Cassius Cliff. We out to the next one, and it will be soon. Believe that.